So not only do I create homeschool videos on YouTube, but I also love to watch them. I love the research. I love hearing what other people are doing, their schedules, their methods, their theories, their curriculum, all of that. And that's maybe one of the reasons that I've started a channel, is because I enjoy watching other channels. But today I thought that I would share with you my favorite homeschool YouTube mamas that I watch frequently. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you're new here, I'm a young homeschooling mom to 3 children. 2 I'm homeschooling, 1 in preschool, 1 in kindergarten, and the last one is a toddler just running around and making chaos for us. I love creating content on YouTube. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a great hobby for me. It's something that I've been doing for less than a year. But today I thought I would branch out and share with you who I enjoy watching on YouTube, because I do enjoy watching other people. It's not just like me making my own content and here everybody watch me. I think there's a lot of people out there sharing a lot of good content. So I'm going to share my favorites with you. I don't know if it's like my favorite 10, 15. I actually didn't count how many I list. I do have some notes here just because to remember their names and their channels and not mix and match them together. I just made some notes about who they are and what I like so that I can kind of share that all with you. So I'm not putting these in any particular order. I'm just kind of putting them out there so it's not like my favorite first or last or anything like that. And these are people that I watch, I would say 75% of their videos. So there are some homeschooler moms that I watch this or that of theirs, or like certain things. And then there's some that I see a video and I almost always save it to my watch later or watch it then, depending on how much time I have. So this list is the ones that the majority of their videos I watch and I find either entertaining or helpful or thought-provoking, or it's people that I've gotten methods of how I homeschool from. So let me just share this with you. So first, let's start with Brittany Olga. I love watching her videos. I love her curriculum picks. I feel like I really resonate with those and overlap quite a few of those. I love her energy and her smile, and she has a couple of kids she's doing. She has, I think, one that's in like 6th grade, and then like maybe a preschooler and a kindergartner, or kinder and first. So she has some young ones that are in my kids' age range, so I enjoy that. But she also has a little bit of experience with an older one. I love, love, love that she isn't led by fads. I feel like she's really good about speaking up against fads sometimes even, and just being honest in her thoughts, and she doesn't have to go with the popular opinion, but she really shares what she believes and why, and I really, really appreciate with her. And I appreciate, this is something you'll see in a couple of my videos, that she's not afraid to start young. I like to start my kids a little bit on the early side, not because I feel like I have to force it down their throats, but because I find it helpful in just building routine and starting to get that habit in, and she also does that, and so I appreciate hearing from that perspective of somebody else who kind of sees the benefit in that. Next is Angie at Science Mama. And Angie, I would say I don't use the same curriculum as her. A lot of the time our curriculum is very different. And even our approach to homeschooling, I would say I lean a little bit more classical. And what would I say? I think she's Charlotte Mason. I think that's here. But I really like her methods of doing things, and the way she plans and the way she thinks and the way she talks through things. I find her videos to be well thought out and engaging. Even though like I don't feel like I'm skipping through her talking, I actually want to hear what she has to say. I really enjoy the way she prepares for her homeschool and facilitates that, and just, yeah, her methods surrounding organization and all of that. I feel like I really enjoy that. And I have used some of her organization methods in my own homeschool. I've actually pulled things from her and have found myself using them. So I've definitely gained a lot from her videos. Another one I enjoy is Kathleen over at KS Lewis Learning, I believe. Yeah. And she is a newer YouTuber, I believe, last year or two. She has 2 young children, I believe, 1 in kinder and 1 in preschool. But her older one is advanced. I'm trying to think what she calls it. He's ahead. I'm not gifted, I think is the word she uses for that. So he's definitely ahead of himself. So some of her picks are a little bit above that grade. My kindergartner is also a little advanced. I wouldn't necessarily call her gifted, but definitely advanced. So I kind of enjoy seeing what somebody else who has a child who's not necessarily within their defined parameters of kindergarten chooses. I feel like she pulls in a lot of fun games and just hands-on and those kind of thing, resources and puzzles, which I really enjoy. So I kind of get some ideas from her on that method. She just has some fun things. She's also a 2nd generation homeschooler, which I relate to as a 2nd generation homeschooler. And I feel like I enjoy hearing other people who had a similar background as me coming to the homeschool table and kind of hearing how they approach it. I enjoy that. And I enjoy seeing her curriculum picks and what she chooses and why, because I think she thinks through things really well. And I've gained some good perspective on a few pieces that I was considering from her. Another one is Rachel over at 7 in All. And She has an older daughter who I believe she homeschooled, and then she has a couple of younger kids who she homeschools. So she also has kids in my age range. She's also a second generation homeschooler, which I appreciate. And she brings her mom onto her channel frequently, or not frequently, but periodically. And they discuss questions about homeschooling, which is kind of fun to get that other perspective of somebody who's done it successfully and kind of what she thinks, along with the one who was homeschooled and is now replicating it. So that's kind of a fun dynamic that she has. Again, I love that she starts her homeschooling early, and I love hearing her perspective and her whys, because I really, really agree with a lot of her thoughts on that. I like her approach to homeschooling. Again, we're not the same, but we do pick a lot of similar curriculums. I'm very interested in some of the things she has. She also creates a little bit of her own preschool and kindergarten curriculum, and she has her own website. I think it's called Where Do You Learn That? And I've used a few of her resources, so I kind of enjoy seeing that. It's somebody who's a little bit more entrepreneurial than myself, but I kind of enjoy seeing what she comes out with. She's really down to earth and practical. She is also raising bilingual kids, and she has a lot of tips. If you're wanting to incorporate a second language or raise that in your family, I think she's a great resource to go to for that, because she's doing that and she seems to be doing it successfully. And so I find for that niche, she really has a lot of good things to say and would be helpful for somebody trying to incorporate that and feeling a little bit at a loss. Okay, so another one would be Lelani over at Living It with Eve. I like that she calls things out for what they are. She is really, I don't want to say in your face, because she's not in your face, but she's really truthful, and she's really just states things as they are. Matter of fact, again, she doesn't seem to go with the flow, with the trends. She really just has a rock solid bottom from where she's talking. She has a lot of experience. She was a school teacher for quite some time. She's also a homeschool evaluator in her state. She keeps up on a lot of the legal matters in her state, and so she's really up to date on kind of the issues going on there and has some good perspective. So I feel like really good information, tons of experience. She has a child with special needs. So if that is an area that I don't have that in my home, but for somebody who does have it in their home, she could be a great resource for some of those. And she's good at just talking about harder issues and challenging some of the things that maybe not so accurate in the homeschooling world today. So another one I enjoy is Morgan over at Life in the Tillmans. And again, really down to earth, really just honest and truthful about the struggles relating to homeschooling. It doesn't seem like she's just following the latest fads. Again, you'll notice that's something I enjoy. People who really have an idea of what homeschooling is about and where they're going with it and what they believe, and are really secure in that. She has some good information, just some good genuine sharing tips on how to raise kids. I feel like, again, just very genuine and honest, and I feel like some good information. She has a younger child that she's doing around the age of my children, but she also has some older ones, so I feel like she has some experience in the world of homeschooling. She's been doing it a little bit, and so can speak to it not just from the younger child perspective, but from having done it a little bit. I like her curriculum choices, not all, but I resonate a lot with kind of the way she chooses curriculum sometimes. I like her real life approach to what she's sharing. And just, again, how she approaches some of the discussions surrounding parenting. I feel like she's an enjoyable one to watch for me. Another one is Rachel over Our Homeschool Plan. And Rachel, again, she has at least a high schooler and then like maybe 2 middle schoolers or 2 high schoolers in middle school. I'm not sure. But her kids are a little bit on the older end. So I feel like when I listen to her, I'm gaining a lot of experience from her. And again, very genuine with the struggles involved in homeschooling, really good about sharing her personal struggles and the things that she's run into her family. So encouraging from the aspect of like, if you're having struggles, it's really nice to hear other people who are doing it and pushing through and also having struggles and how they deal with them. So really good. Her videos are a ton of fun to watch. She has fun editing her videos, and I think she's very personable and enjoyable to watch as well. So I don't feel like her videos just never bore me, I guess. She also, what was the other thing I was thinking about? Oh, she has had a lot of experience in classical conversations. She's done the classical conversation thing. She's not currently, but she has spent a lot of time there. So if you're interested in classical conversations or IEW in particular, she has a lot of experience with both of those things. And so if those are things that you've been looking into or that you're doing or want some more information on, she has some great resources and videos on those. So check her out for that in particular. And I have actually enjoyed watching those because I feel like I've gotten a lot of information from her on those topics. Okay, another one is Mary Barfield, and she also has younger children. I think she's got like a second grader and a kindergartner, if I'm remembering right. And I would say from her, I feel like we're very similar in our methods of homeschool. I feel like I lean classical, a little bit of Charlotte Mason mixed in, and I feel like she does that as well. And so I really resonate with her on her style of homeschooling. That's the word I'm looking for, style, and some of her curriculum picks as a result, because I feel like those kind of tie in together. She's enjoyable to watch. I really like hearing her thought processes and how she's thought through things and why she does certain things the way she does. We come at homeschooling from a different viewpoint because I come from a Christian religious viewpoint, and I think their homeschool is secular. But I have really enjoyed watching her videos as well. So another one would be Shauna over at Homegrown Homeschool, and she has several children. So I feel like when I watch her, I watch a little bit of a larger family homeschool mom, which I really relate to, having been from a large family. And I enjoy seeing somebody who's managing multiple kids and who can share some information on how to do that, not just a single child, but who's really has their hands full and is still managing well. I relate to her in that we both have a Christian homeschool perspective. So I really like some of her viewpoints. I really like some of the book picks she has that she pulls into her homeschool. I feel like, and I love reading. I feel like I have a well-rounded knowledge of books out there, but she's always bringing ones in that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I've read that, or that looks interesting. I think that's a good one. And again, because we come from the same like Christian background, some of her books lean towards that like religious or allegorical type books that I enjoy incorporating as well. So I've gotten a lot of good information from her. She's very real. Sometimes she seems tired and overwhelmed and is very real about sharing those struggles without bashing homeschool, without it being like, oh, homeschool is evil versus like, no, we just figure out how to work through that. And I appreciate that. She doesn't give the impression that her homeschool life is perfect. And very few of us have perfect homeschool lives. So it's really nice to see people who don't pretend that there are. Okay, so another one would be Christine at This Homeschool House. And Christine, I believe she's from Australia. I believe. I could be wrong on that, so forgive me if that's wrong. But as a result, she has a slight accent that I really, really enjoy. Honestly, I love the aesthetics of her video. She actually has, I think, a studio that she records in, and I feel like she has skill as a social media person, and I feel like I enjoy watching her videos just from an aesthetically pleasing and well. They're not flashy, but just enjoyable to watch. She has some good advice as well. I think she's been doing this for a bit longer than I have. I want to say 5 to 7 years maybe. She has a little bit of an older child. She has some younger children, and I feel like she just has some good input, and I enjoy watching her videos as a whole. And then lastly, I want to mention Sarah at Everyday Homeschooler. And I want to say she has a large family as well, but I'm actually not sure that she does, but I think she does. But she's another one that has a special needs child and can speak to it from that angle for people who need a little bit more support in that area. So I would say she's really good in that regard. She is very practical, and she comes across as having a lot of experience because she has some kids that aren't like real young like mine. And so just practical experience is really useful, just somebody to speak into, and so I like that. I also, so I like her portfolio and record keeping methods, and actually I've stolen them for myself, but she's the one that I got the way I'm doing my record portfolio, however you want to say it. Even though we don't technically have to in our state, I wanted to keep some sort of records, and I really, really liked the way she did it. So that's where I've stolen that. So those are my top, I don't know how many, I think like 11 or so homeschooling YouTube mamas who I watch and who I really enjoy when I see a new video from them come up. I feel like I get a lot of good advice and thoughts and methods, and for different reasons I watch them. I don't resonate with them all on everything. I feel like there's definitely things I disagree with, but that's healthy to watch people that you don't 100% agree with. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Maybe you've heard of some of these before, maybe you haven't, and if not, go check them out. I will try to link below their channels so that you can access them easily if you're interested in it. If you have somebody that you absolutely love watching and would recommend to me, please comment below because I'm always open for new people as well. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful week.